Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV. What you're about to experience is a free, worldwide interactive broadcast from Ontario, Canada. We broadcast live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Get your questions in. Join the community chat room at www.category5.tv or email us at live@category5.tv. And now, let's begin. Here's your host, Robbie Ferguson.
Welcome to episode number 237 of Category 5 Technology TV for Tuesday, April the 3rd, 2012.
237, and I missed the last
Yes.
4, I think. Oh.
4.
Hey, folks, how are ya?
Eric Kidd, ladies and gentlemen. Eric
I wore
Kidd.
my shirt just in case you were
He's even
concerned.
got the shirt to prove it.
Well,
in case, Eric Kidd. Eric Kidd.
Well, there's
it's
more.
redundant.
It was a band that I had.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite musicians, Eric Kidd and these guys.
Huh. There you go.
There we go. Okay.
I don't ever want to see that again.
Are we having fun yet?
So the footer is kind of redundant tonight. It's Eric Kidd, Eric Kidd.
It is kind of, I can...
Yeah, just kind of like do something like that. I mean, I've got the power here.
Hey, my eyes are up here. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Oh.
You, sir,
Hey.
are indeed nuts.
Chris Reich. What he's saying is I look like 5 pounds or 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag, I think is what Chris was saying.
Nice
Okay,
guy.
this shirt was about 20 pounds ago. Okay, be nice.
I'll let you tell us what's coming up in the news. We've got so much stuff coming up tonight. I can't wait to tell you.
Well, here, I'll tell you right now.
Thanks,
Here's
Mike.
what's coming up in the newsroom.
Here it is, folks. Be ready for it.
Research in Motion knows it has to refocus its business quickly and is hoping its corporate customers will save BlackBerry. German scientists are developing a GPS-like system for galactic spacecraft using pulsars as their guide. And Pastebin plans to hire staff to tackle hackers' sensitive posts. Manchester Royal Infirmary surgeons are using 3D for keyhole surgery. So you really ought to stick around. These stories and others are coming up later in the show.
That's really cool. One thing that I noticed with you that's funny. I mean, here's an observation. I always have to have an observation of Eric off the top. Has a camera on this side of the monitor and a camera on this side of the monitor. And he's looking deadpan straight into the monitor. So no matter what camera I give you, buddy, gotta make eye contact. The folks are expecting it.
Eye contact.
I'm excited to hear about intergalactic travel. Is it possible? I guess navigation would be kind of step one. I never thought about that.
What are your reference points with the GPS?
We're going to have to find out.
We're going to find out.
But I mean, we'll talk about it if the time comes. But I wonder. I've never thought about that. I always thought about propulsion.
You'll hear first
propulsion,
when it does happen.
Propulsion being the main thing. But then I'm like, yeah, you get out so far and then you'd be utterly lost because the Earth would be just a speck if you didn't have some form of navigation system, right? So.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we got an exceptional show for you tonight. That is fantastic grammar just for you.
I was going to say, we have? Or we...
Yes.
Yeah, we have.
We have.
We got
stuff. Some kind of crazy,
Yeah, okay.
awesome show for you. For yuz.
For yous?
For yuz.
Or if you're down in the south, all y'all?
All y'all.
Yeah, okay.
I thought that was for real. Okay.
It is for real. Y'all is just one person. Plural is all y'all.
Last week I took you on a tour of the studio here at Category 5. Really a lot of fun. If you missed it, make sure you check out episode number 236 of Category 5 TV. But tonight, for those of you who are watching either on demand through the week or if you were watching live last week, we took a lot of qualifiers to win a free copy of Telestream Wirecast.
Ah.
That's the software that we use to do our camera switching. So that when Eric is looking at the wrong camera, I can switch it around.
All right. Very nice.
We're going to be giving
handled.
we're going to give you a free copy of that software to help you with your broadcasting. All right? So stick around. That's happening tonight. Also, Earth Day's coming up sooner than later.
I thought
like
Earth Hour was...
Well, that was Earth Hour. That was like a berry thing.
Okay, that was a berry thing.
So we'll confuse our...
That was all over the world.
Well, it was kind of like a more localized, kind of new, fandangled kind of...
It was all over the world, though.
But
it started in Australia.
Earth Day, the Earth Day. I mean, Earth Hour. What's that? We have a whole day, folks, coming up. 24 hours of the stuff.
As opposed to intergalactic travel
Earth
day,
Hour was all over the world.
Yes, as opposed to intergalactic travel day.
But I'm just saying there is a difference between Earth Hour and Earth Day. It's 23 hours worth. But it's coming up. And, you know,
gosh, could you imagine a Category 5 day? No, I can't.
No.
I can't.
No. It'd be very tiring.
You know, if you live on this planet, really, 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 I think, you know, maybe every day should be Earth Day.
That's exactly my point. That's my point. So,
of course, I've been wrong before, and you've
Earth Day coming
tried
up,
to correct me.
We want to help you to treat every day like it's Earth Day, to be friendlier to the environment. So we have a partnership with Eco Alkalines Batteries. We're going to be talking to you in just a few minutes about that. Stick around. Another giveaway, perhaps, to help you pretend like it's Earth Day, taking good care of our Mother Earth every day for the year.
Maybe I'll start
Earth Year.
Just having organic wines and organic other beverages.
Well, we already do that.
Okay. Sorry. I'll try to stay on track here.
Tonight is a viewer question extravaganza, too. We have lots and lots of viewer questions that have come in. And big, I guess, kind of an exciting thing for all of us here. Cyber Smurf has been asking about you.
Cyber Smurf.
Cyber Smurf has been asking. And a couple of other viewers have said, how can we get a hold of Eric Kidd's music? So tonight,
you can't.
For the first time ever, Eric Kidd is going to perform live on our stage in Studio B. So stick around. That's all coming up tonight. Wow! Tons coming up. How you been?
I have been all right.
Yeah?
I'm sad tonight.
Yeah, they call you Mellow Yellow.
It's kind of orange.
Kind of orange.
I started out with yellow, but I figured they'd make fun of me, you know? So...
This is branded.
The viewership here is hard to get, you know, it's a tough crowd.
They are tough, aren't they?
It's a tough crowd.
Yeah.
So, I'm sad. It's my last Tuesday night hockey for the summer.
Tonight?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be a party and a half.
There certainly will be afterwards.
Planning to win?
Win. I got to touch the puck last week, I think.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, win. I actually put it in the net a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Good. You're not actually supposed to touch the puck.
Well,
I think that's like soccer. It's kind of against the rules.
You know, back when I used to wear a black shirt, John, remember our camera guy, John?
You just can't win. You just can't win around here, folks.
How come he's wearing black? He gave me a
blends into the background. Blends into the background.
Yeah,
cameras can't focus. The white balance is all off. I mean, you learned all about this last week, right? So we try to. I'm offsetting you.
Learn a thing.
I'm offsetting you with my shirt tonight. You know, a little darker. So
you're asking the geometry question or the mathematical question? Find X.
Here it is.
And clearly, it's pretty easy to find.
I found it.
Okay.
Chris
Canadians
Reich.
in black T-shirts are a stereotype where I live, says Chris Reich. Well, actually, I am gonna wear a plaid shirt and sing.
That's a stereotype. Yeah, I was thinking sprockets.
Hoser.
All right, Dave.
All right, take coffee.
That's so us. That is so us.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spelled with an O.
That's Bob and Doug Maxwell, not Doug and Bob.
Yeah, you got it backwards.
So
okay, well, we've got a ton of viewer questions that we're going to jump into. First of all, last week while Erica was here, we've got Eric.
Don't call me that.
I know. Sorry. How can I possibly use your nickname anymore when we actually have an Erica?
Sorry.
While she was here, we got an amazing postcard. You never saw this, my friend. And every postcard is amazing, folks. But we got a postcard from Afghanistan, which was really cool, from some soldiers that are out there, some specialists that are in Afghanistan right now, and actually received an email following last week's episode because Erica and I had said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we could actually get a picture of you guys watching Category 5 TV? And they were good enough to, in fact, send us a photo this week. So on our left there is Specialist Grigo. Forgive me, sir. I would guess that it's Grigo. And we've also got Specialist Lennox and Specialist Irvin, who are, in fact, watching Category 5 TV right there in Afghanistan. Thank you so much for sending in that photo. Very cool stuff. We love to receive your photos. We love to see you viewing the show.
I like part of the postmark here.
Isn't that awesome?
Evidence indicates postage has been paid. Well, good work, guys.
Good going, guys.
Didn't try to slip one through.
They looked kind of fishy to me. Like especially Sergeant Irvin there. Looks like he's trying to get around the mail system.
Yeah.
Just kind of, I got my ways. That's
pretty cool.
But this has been paid.
Okay.
Thanks for the
That's
for the
a
email
DOD photo.
And one of these days I'm going to get your name right off the bat. I promise.
No, he isn't. No, he isn't. He still doesn't get my name right.
Yeah, Erica. All right. Well, we've got your viewer questions. It is a viewer question extravaganza. We know you love it, and we have got a ton of questions to answer, so we are going to come right back after this, and don't go anywhere. Don't forget, we've got lots of stuff to give away tonight, including that copy of Wirecast. So we will be right back.
At Eco Alkalines, we believe you should be able to trust your batteries not just here, but here, and here. But with one exception, you should also be able to trust your batteries here. Eco Alkalines are the world's first and only certified carbon-neutral battery manufactured to the highest standards of recycling and quality, without any trace amounts of harmful chemicals like mercury, lead, or cadmium. Eco Alkalines provide performance that rivals leading national alkaline battery brands at a comparable price. Find out more about the Eco Alkalines difference. EcoAlkalines.com.
This is Category 5 Technology TV, and our website is www.category5.tv.
www.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
I usually say that. You'll actually get onto our website faster if you include the www.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I have trouble saying www.
Yes,
so I say triple W.
I get www is about as good as I can do.
Triple dub.
All right. Shall we jump into some questions?
We shall, and you, sir, are on that camera.
Hi, kids. How's it going? All right. Well, we have one here from, I believe it's from Dan. Hello, Cat5
Dan.
peeps. If I have a hosting plan, not a VPS, on the interwebs, how do I configure Filezilla to access the server, which also has cPanel? Do I need to include DNS infos during the setup? How do I set up Filezilla to use Sftp? I can't even say that. Sftp instead of FTP. How do you set up and use SSH? I have been away from Cat5 for a while, but I haven't forgotten the great work you guys do. Thank you for all of the great episodes you produce. They have been informative and helpful. Cheers, Dan.
All right, Dan.
Well, Dan, we're going to hand that over to Robbie. Here's Robbie.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Dan, what we're going to do is bring up Filezilla Client. That's a free client that's available for your computer. It's fantastic. It's what I actually tend to use just because it's so good. And on Filezilla, once you've created a new site by clicking on New Site, name it. You can call it whatever you like. Dan's website, right? So your host will have provided or can provide you with FTP or SFTP, as you're asking, information, how you want to connect. So you must have a .com or something like that hosted on the server. Otherwise, how are people going to get to your website anyway? They're not going to do it through an IP address. They're going to go through DNS resolutions. So whatever your .com is with your host, that's the first step. Your host can probably help you set that up. It's a little different with each. We use DreamHost. It's cat5.tv/DreamHost. If you want to check them out, and through them, I just basically register a website and it's automatically set up to point to the DreamHost server, and then I can connect to category5.tv, for example. So then when I want to FTP, it would be FTP to that address, and that takes me directly to the server. So in your case, it might be ftp.dan. Let's make up something obscure just because dan.com probably exists. Dan's website 102.com. So let's say that's your .com, right? Dan's website 102.com, and sometimes the server will require that you have an FTP dot before that, for example. You can leave the port empty in Filezilla because it's going to use the default port for FTP, which is 21. But if you leave that empty, it's going to auto-select. So now set this to normal. This is your login type, and enter your login and password. So this might be Dan and your password, and then you can hit connect, and it's going to connect in. Now, you ask about SFTP, so I must assume that you know enough about FTP and file transfers over internet that you know that it's not safe to use FTP. So FTP is an unencrypted protocol, and it allows people to intercept malicious people. It allows malicious users to intercept the data transmission. So while I might be uploading a couple of HTML files and an XML file, no big deal. A couple of JPEGs and things like that, that's not a big deal. Where it becomes a big deal is when that user, in fact, obtains your username and password. So now, what is commonly happening these days is that once that information has been intercepted, the malicious user or a script that is acting on behalf of that malicious user will log on to your FTP site, put on a script like in PHP or JavaScript or something like that to replace your website, and it's like an online version of a virus, and it infects your website viewers or users. So you want to make sure that you use something like SFTP because it's secure. The S stands for secure. SFTP is the next step up. So you've got FTP. If your host provides it, you can use SFTP, which basically tunnels the FTP connection through SSH, which, as we know, is a secure way to connect into your server. So with SFTP, now we've got a connection that is allowing us to transfer files back and forth over SSH in a familiar way, like drag and drop and mirroring your local files to your remote files, but it's secure, and that's the way that we want to do it. So if you're unable to connect like just with those particular settings, just by simply, I mean, if you know your FTP server settings, try just switching it to SFTP as long as port is empty up here, because then it's going to use the default SFTP port. And if you have trouble connecting at that point, contact your ISP, find out what port you're supposed to use, what connection you're supposed to use for SFTP, and that'll be the way to go. Dan had also asked about connecting through SSH itself, so not SFTP. Is Dan on Linux? Debian, I guess, eh? Or?
Let's go back here. I don't know.
Okay.
Didn't tell us what platform.
Okay, well, because we don't know, Dan, I'll just say, if you're on Windows, you may use a program called Putty. Putty is a terminal emulator. Well. Yeah, so it's a free download, and you can get it for your computer on Windows, and then you can use SSH to connect in. And it's basically like a Linux terminal for your computer. In Linux, I can go accessories, terminal, and I can just go SSH, and then Dan's website 102.com, and then hit enter, and it's going to try to connect to that site. Right? It'll ask you for your password. But what's going to happen if you do it that way is it's going to use your currently logged in user. So I'm going to be trying to connect as demo. So here's what you want to do, Dan, is just before that, it's going to look like an email address. Your username, as we remember, was Dan at Dan's website 102.com. So now when I try to connect to that, it's actually going to try to authenticate as Dan on that website. Some hosts won't provide that service because it requires that user have its own Linux user. That's a good security practice for each website and each service to have its own Linux user. So you'll need to consult your, if you don't get a straight connection, you'll need to consult your ISP, find out if they do provide that service. And sometimes they'll use an alternate port, in which case you may need to specify that, and that's sometimes done for security as well. So if you're not getting a connection and your ISP says, or your web host, I should say, says that they do provide it, but they don't use the default port, then you may need to go -p space and then whatever port that they tell you. So, if it's 1,000, then that's how you do it, and it will try to connect using that port. Okay? Good luck, Dan. Let us know how it goes. I'd love to hear from you, and that would be fantastic.
All right. Well, we have another question.
All right.
And this one is from Sovereign Entity, but that's Mr. or Mrs. Entity to you.
Hello, Mr. or Mrs. Entity.
I'm in a little trouble with my mic here.
Yeah.
Anyway, system is Debian, and Debian Squeeze, actually. So the question, after a fresh install...
Debian Squeeze!
Once I install my apps... What is the best way to back up my system in case of disaster?
Oh.
I'm not very good at command line, and Debian seems to require more knowledge of CLI than my former favorite Super OS. So I want to get my system back up in minutes, not days.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Some of you already know what I'm going to say. The trick to creating the type of backup that you're looking for, which is called like a restoration backup.
Like
right?
you want an image.
Image is what is kind of the technical term. When you think about image, though, you think about a picture. So think about taking a picture of your computer in its current state and saving it somewhere else. So what you want to do is you want to create that image. We're going to use a tool called Clonezilla because it's available for us for free. Clonezilla.org. You can download it straight from there. And best thing probably for you to do is to get the alternative stable release in ISO format. Okay? The reason that I say get the alternative version is that we're not... The difference between the stable version and the alternative stable version is the stable version has no proprietary stuff in it. The alternative stable version has proprietary stuff in it. So that means chances are better that it's going to support all your hardware. The stable version, without being alternative version, is stripped down to only open source stuff. Personally, I'm a huge open source advocate, but when it comes to doing something like this, I want to make sure that my hardware works, and I don't really, it doesn't matter to me either or.
Yeah.
And I think technically there are probably some legalities in certain countries where you're not permitted to use certain codecs and file extensions and modules and kernel modules and things. So there is probably that, and you can read about it on their website. But I would go with the alternative stable release ISO format, which allows you to burn that now to a CD. And then boot from that CD, walk through the prompts. It's going to give you an option to copy from your internal hard drive to any other destination. And it's going to do what's called a sector-by-sector image. So set up your computer exactly the way that you want it to be. Use Clonezilla to create that image. So now you've got a backup that is an exact duplicate of your hard drive in that state.
Did you do that out to some cloud destination, or does it have
Absolutely.
to be like a USB or?
If you've got for example, a Ethernet cable plugged in, I'd probably stick with Ethernet. Two reasons. One, as you know, wireless from a boot CD can be finicky, but scratching that wireless is very, very slow. Okay, we're talking about a backup of your whole hard drive.
And if your system's down, you probably don't have wireless yet.
True enough. But here's the thing is, get an Ethernet connection in there. You've got as much as a gigabit of data transfer to your server or another computer on your network or something like that. And you can actually specify to save it to a network source or a network destination. So it takes that sector-by-sector image of your hard drive, and here's what happens for you, is that if you have a catastrophic failure, your hard drive crashes, and you don't want to have to reinstall everything. Now, understanding that your image is a snapshot of what your computer looks like right now. It's not a backup, okay? It's a restore point. Be backing up your files incrementally so that every time you take pictures and import them to your computer, they should be being backed up somewhere else. They should be offsite or somewhere else, okay? So understanding what this is that I'm suggesting, it's a way to restore your computer back to that particular point when you took the
moment
snapshot.
in time.
Yeah, exactly.
We did this on April 3rd, and here's what my computer looked like on that particular
if I did
day
it today,
at this particular time.
Yeah. So it's got all your drivers installed. It's got your Office suite set up the way you like it. It's got your desktop wallpaper. It's the way that you want it to look. So if your hard drive crashes, you pop a new hard drive in there. You restore from that Clonezilla image, and now you've got an up and running computer exactly as it was on April 3rd, 2012. And then you just copy your files back from your backup, and everything is set up and ready to go. Very, very sleek.
Life is good.
Yeah.
There you go.
Clonezilla.org is the place to go to get that.
Okay, we have another question. This one's from Shaw. Hi, Robbie and friends.
Shaw.
In episode 236, someone asked about archive of old shows.
Yes.
Another source, other than what you showed, is archive.org's Wayback Machine. It has an archive of the old site complete with RSS feeds and video files.
Really?
Love the show and hoping for many, many more seasons. Shawl from Israel. Raptor222 in the chat.
Awesome.
Hey, Shawl.
Good tip. Wayback Machine at archive.org is fantastic. I didn't know that they had, in fact, archived the entire site. That's pretty awesome. So based on that, I can go back as far as 2008 in the Wayback Machine. Nice. So it's not a complete snapshot, as you can see, but it may, as you say, may give you access to some of that old stuff. Hokey doodle, eh?
Probably
Like that's,
some of the links because
some of the links may not work
because that server's off.
Yeah. It's basically a textual snapshot. But if they're archiving the RSS feeds, then guess what? I never deleted the files off of the servers that they were on. So the RSS file may be archived. Maybe or maybe not archive.org has archived the files themselves.
Wow.
But the fact is that for the sake of longevity of the show, I had left all the files where they were. So they should be on some server out there.
Saving them for posterity.
Saving them. So if you've got old links, like from the Wayback Machine, they should still work.
The Wayback
Brilliant
Machine.
tip. Thank you so much. We're going to have to jump into the news, but we're going to come right back to viewer questions because, of course, this is a viewer question extravaganza. Don't forget, tonight, Eric Kidd is going to be performing live right here on our stage. He's got this shirt to prove that he is indeed
Actually,
a legit musician.
Don't have the band here with me tonight.
Don't have the band? I'll beatbox for you. Would that work?
Excuse me, I think I hear my mummy calling me.
All right.
Oh my goodness. Hey, here is the top stories from the Category 5.
Here is the...
No, here are. Gee whiz. Hey kids, we got stories. Lots of them. Here are the top stories from the Category 5.tv newsroom. BlackBerry maker Research in Motion, or RIM, has said it plans to refocus its business back onto corporate customers. The announcement came as RIM reported a quarterly loss as revenues fell due to sharply lower smartphone sales. The Canadian company made a net loss for the 3 months leading up to March 3rd of $125 million compared with a profit of $934 million a year earlier. It has lost ground as its traditional business clients have switched staff to iPhones and Android smartphones. RIM also announced the resignation of former co-chief executive Jim Balsillie. Chief Technology Officer David Yacht will also be standing down.
Can I ask, Eric, what's that you have there?
This is my new BlackBerry, actually.
A new BlackBerry?
I have the BlackBerry Bold. I had the Torch, and I loved its big screen, but it was quirky, and I think they may have had some issues with the operating system on that.
Gotcha. That could be
that's off the record when you're talking to anybody from there. But
so, what keeps you going back to BlackBerry? You say this is your new one.
I've had a BlackBerry since it was a little rectangular box that only did monochrome screen with text on it, and they've always been pretty robust, pretty dependable.
Like the time that you dropped it in the water, it kept going? It
kept going, yeah. Hey, I did not drop mine in the toilet. That was somebody else did that. No, actually, this new little Bold is really lickety split, and it's got a couple other little features that are kind of neat. Like it, when I'm making phone calls, it actually connects with my Wi-Fi as well as the regular
for phone calls.
Yeah,
cool.
It's very cool. Anyway, I know lots of folks have gone to some of those other products.
Yeah. I know the BlackBerry users can be fairly loyal to that company.
Yes,
and Eric is proof of that. But it's interesting.
Okay, well, the owner of Pastebin.com says he plans to hire more staff to help control sensitive information posted to the site. The website is frequently used by anonymous and other hackers to reveal data taken from their targets. In the past, this has included home addresses, email passwords, and bank account details. Pastebin currently relies on an abuse report system to alert it to material that might need to be removed. All right. German scientists are developing a technique that allows for very precise positioning anywhere in space by picking up X-ray signals from pulsars. These dense, burnt-out stars rotate rapidly, sweeping their emission across the cosmos at rates that are so stable they rival atomic clock performance.
Wow.
That is something. This timing property is perfect for interstellar navigation, says the team. If a spacecraft carried the means to detect the pulses, it could compare their arrival times with those predicted at a reference location. This would enable the craft to determine its position to an accuracy of just 5 kilometers anywhere in the galaxy.
What?
That is
insane.
That is pretty something.
5 kilometers in space terms is nothing.
Yeah, that's like from here to
a
there.
Speck.
Yeah.
Of the Enterprise is longer than 5 kilometers, I'm sure.
Surgeons at Manchester Royal Infirmary claim to be the first in the UK to use a full 3D projection during an operation. They use the technology to remove a patient's prostate. Doctors said the combination of robotic and 3D technologies allows for greater surgical mobility with keyhole techniques. During the operation, a high-definition screen carried a 3D image of a handheld robotic arm developed to carry out intricate surgical techniques. The team wore 3D glasses in order to view the procedure in 3D. A spokeswoman for the hospital said 3D projection allowed the surgeon to have greater accuracy, therefore reducing the risks of muscle and nerve damage. She added it would help reduce surgeon fatigue, meaning they would be able to carry out more operations with even better outcomes. No word if private 3D viewings of Despicable Me between surgeries would be part of the fatigue protection process, but we are guessing not. The technology is to be used on a small number of patients before being offered more widely. Actually, but I do think the idea of those 3D glasses in the OR, that does seem a little wild. You know?
I guess if the screen was big enough, then so be it.
You could see Despicable You.
But yeah, everybody's
Despicable You. You can get the full stories at Category5.tv Newsroom. The Category5.tv Newsroom is researched by Roy W. Nash with contributions from our community of viewers. If you have a news story you think is worthy of on-air mention, email newsroom@Category5.tv. For the Category5.tv Newsroom, I'm Eric Kidd.
Thanks, Eric.
Hey, you are welcome.
The news tonight is brought to you in part by Cordery Electric, the official electric company of Category 5 TV. Catch them online at corderyelectric.com. Also, GardenGateFarms.com for certified organic broccoli, sprout, and wheatgrass juice. Visit GardenGateFarms.com. Lots going on tonight. I promised you at the beginning of the show we'd be talking to you about our upcoming Earth Day giveaway. Very excited once again to be partnered with Eco Alkalines. You can find out more about them. Pardon me. You can find out more about them at cat5.tv/eco. Go check them out today.
I'm still not convinced we didn't have Earth Day last week.
Oh, dear me.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
So here's the thing. We here at Category 5, we want to do our part as best as we can for the environment and just being and thinking about a sustainable future. And part of that is to be wise about our purchasing decisions and be buying things that are environmentally friendly, environmentally sound, and carbon neutral. Eco-alkalines are the first and only alkaline battery that are certified carbon neutral. And we have a full year supply of Eco-alkalines batteries that we're giving away for Earth Day. So all you have to do is get onto to their website, cat5.tv/eco is how you get there, okay? Just a little hot link that's going to get you over there. When you're there, check out the information there. You'll see their Facebook and their Twitter feeds. You need to like them on Facebook and retweet them on Twitter as well. And we're going to be extending the contest over the next couple of weeks just to give you opportunities to retweet them, to follow them on Twitter. Make sure you follow them on Twitter. Make sure you like them on Facebook. You're going to increase your chances of winning. If you've already done that from the last contest, rest assured that you are already eligible. So if you've already liked them on Facebook and you're still sitting in that status, you're already in the draw. So what you want to do is you want to increase your chances by liking some of the posts that they make.
I like them in my preamp for my guitar. Oh, right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, I like them in my front door. I have one of those little combo front door
They're
locks.
great. They're great batteries, as you can see if you go to their website. There are some third-party, tests that were performed against leading national brands, and you can see the quality of these batteries is exceptional. Like I say, they're carbon neutral, certified, which means that they offset their carbon footprint. So for what is generated as far as carbon emissions go, those are offset. But they also try very hard to use recycled material for their product and things like that.
You have an Eco-alkaline in your acoustic electric guitar.
I sure do.
I replaced the battery harness for you, and I put one of those in.
Do you have a 9-volt battery, Robbie? I surely do.
Yes, indeed.
I surely do. So check them out. It's cat5.tv/eco. That's just kind of the preliminary, just kind of let you know what's coming up, but it's a full year supply. We're talking about a pack of batteries every single week for an entire year.
Did they do aftermarket stuff like batteries that would fit in cell phones and other things?
I don't think so. I think it's generally consumer batteries, like what I have here. Just
A's, double A's, triple A's.
Yeah, I've got triple A's, double A's, 9 volt, of course. Great for the fire alarm.
C's, D's.
Yep, C's and D's. Yeah, so standard consumer batteries.
I used to have a little blaster, like, cassette.
A little one.
A little one.
The D's reminded him of
8 D cells, and we drove all the way to Kentucky and back with that thing, and it kept going.
Actually
down at a
powered the
bluegrass
car.
festival in Kentucky.
Fantastic.
Pikeville, Kentucky. It was great. It was great.
So don't forget the basic skinny of the contest is make sure you follow them on Twitter, retweet them, and get involved in their social media aspect. And that is a very effective way for you to get noticed, and it's going to bump up your chances of winning. You're going to get basically casting a ballot for every time that you participate in their social media. So make it so. Good luck, everybody. A full year supply. It's fantastic.
Like them on Facebook, eh?
Yep.
How do I stop getting friends' horoscopes on Facebook? I just want that. I just don't really care.
I'm terrible. I just unfriend a lot of stuff. You said something I don't like. Unfriend. No, you can block it if you log on to the website itself.
Okay.
But the problem these days
that might be a show some night.
Well, Facebook. I mean, you're using your BlackBerry. I'm using my iPod Touch to do it.
Different.
And
stuff.
It does not. The app does not have those features, so you have to log in. I think it was a week ago that somebody apparently compromised my timeline and posted something. I didn't get to see it, but my wife saw it. Brilliant.
Oh.
And so I had to log in via the website to try to figure out what was going on, and so just simply changed my password and clean things up. But sometimes
I've had friends who have had other friends post inappropriate things on their walls, and you need to tighten that up a little bit too.
Yeah.
You know?
So, but yeah, you can highlight each user and tell what stuff you want to see. I have turned off Farmville. I have turned off all of those kind of. I don't want to know. What
I get so-and-so
level of mafia you're at.
So and so needs.
Oh
this.
Yeah, pig dung.
Pig
dung.
No,
that was Jot. Right.
Yacht. I thought we established how to pronounce his name a while back.
Speaking of Jot, I am looking in the chat room. I don't see him. Jot, what are you doing? But I do see a ton of great people. Nice to see you. Of course, Garby is there. Rev DJ, Rev D Jenk, Reverend D Jenkins. I think I've got it now, sir. Yeah, Invincible Mutant. Hey, Michael Iowa, Golf Geo.
Oh, another yellow
8 miles
joke.
from TJ. Another one.
Yeah, fit well with Tweet wearing yellow.
Excellent.
Canary. It's not canary. Hey, Lightfoot had a song called My Canary Yellow Canoe.
And we digress.
Oh, yes, or yours.
Do we have any more questions? I'd love to. We
have lots of questions.
We've got a few more minutes because
here.
I want to give Eric some time to sing you some songs.
I may not do that now. I'm feeling sad. Okay, here is one from the Lone Star State. This is from John Crisp, who's running Win7 64-bit.
Yeah.
Hi, Robbie and crew. I guess I'm crew. Hi. Just upgraded my virtual box to current. Now I can't get Mint 11 to full screen. My Ubuntu 11.10 works just fine. Guest editions are installed and verified. Mint says so. Wonder. Did I get the inflection on that sentence?
Mint said so. It's installed and verified.
Wonder what's the problem. If VB has all components working, why doesn't it work in all distros? Is Mint different? Of course Mint's different. Mint works okay, just I have a small square of it in the middle of the screen. Thanks for all you do for us. John in Dallas.
Okay, John. First things first, Garby said it in the chat room, just try updating your guest editions just in case. Because as you update VirtualBox, you get new versions of the drivers. But here's what I think. Hotkey, host key, and G is the auto stretch. Okay? So if everything is indeed set up correctly, and you've gone into full screen and it's not stretching, you need to turn on auto stretch, which is host G. And then hit host F for full screen, and then hit host F again to go back into full screen, and it should stretch out.
Host?
Host is your right control key by default.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. John knew that because it's how he got into full screen.
Sorry, John. They have Lone Star beer down there.
Random.
Well,
so that I hope that works for you. I'm thinking here as we're trying to get through as many questions as possible. I'm looking at Eric's screen, and I know that we have a ton of viewer questions to go through, and unfortunately there's just not enough time in 1 hour to be able to address everyone's question. So I want you to know that if you did send in, if you did send in a question and we've been unable to attend to it tonight, just know that that we do our best here, and that we will indeed, we'll queue your question and we will attend to it as soon as possible on a future show. So I apologize if we were unable to get to your question tonight. Keep the questions coming in. You can email us live at category5.tv. That's live at category5.tv for those who couldn't hear over Eric clearing his throat.
Is that live or live? I had a friend who her favorite album was Tom Jones' Live.
Why are there so many people screaming?
The studio was full.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'll say. Pyrus Rock is saying, you know what, we'll just have to do a second, maybe a third viewer question extravaganza. And honestly, with the amount of questions that come in a week, we try to keep up and we try to give you as much time as we can, and we try to see you through. And I hope that we're able to help you, and that's really the goal with the show. And the viewer question extravaganza is a good way for us to be able to get through some of those questions. But unfortunately, it's still just an hour show, so we may do that. Pyrus Rock, we'll talk about it over the next couple of weeks and see how many questions we can get through. All right. But I know there are questions sitting there, and I know that there are promises made that I had hoped to get to questions. I'm going to blame it on Eric, because he's the one reading the questions.
I'm a bad man, and I'm wearing an orange shirt.
He didn't get through them all, folks. It's all his fault.
Shall we do more? Are we going to get to do more?
We don't get to do any more questions. No, it's time to give away a little bit of Wirecast action while Eric gets set up for his little
expense paid trip for 2 to Angus, Ontario with Robbie Ferguson at the... No.
What's happening?
We're not giving away that?
No.
Okay, fine.
Wirecast. Telestream Wirecast. What is he on about, folks? Eric's going to get set up. Stick around, because we are going to have the privilege of hearing from Eric Kidd tonight. He's going to be actually playing a live set for us here at Category 5 for the first time. We're going to have live music here, just for all of those of you who have wanted to hear Eric play. In the meantime, we have some Wirecast to give away. As Eric moves over there, I'll remind him that his microphone is indeed on.
So I should just keep quiet, right? I'll try not to interrupt.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to find out who is our winner tonight. Good luck, everybody. Exciting stuff. Thank you so much for sending in your ballots. Getting close. And the winner of Telestream Wirecast tonight, Jens Jark. Congratulations, Jens. We will actually be sending that to you by email. Congratulations once again. Thank you to everyone who sent in your ballots this week. Do check out, if you haven't already done so, episode number 236 of Category 5 TV, where we were introducing you to Telestream Wirecast and what that's all about, and how we use that to create the show here at Category 5 Technology TV. Thank you so much for your participation tonight. And Jens, again, we will be sending that to you by email. We are privileged tonight to have Eric Kidd joining us live in studio, not just as a co-host, but as a musician, as a professional musician who comes to us from Barrie, Ontario. And I'm going to hand the floor over to him. Eric, it's nice to have you here. Thanks for joining us for the music set tonight.
Hey, it's great to be here. So, yeah, I'm just going to give you a couple of tunes I wrote a while back. And so there. So,
sounds great.
Well, baby got the blues this morning. Yeah, her loving man went astray. Baby got the blues this morning. I bet you have that blues all day. Well, her loving man and his loving hands been rubbing the wrong girl all the way. That loving man, no more her loving man. She come home today. Well, baby got away for a few days. Yeah, mama and the folks are all well. But baby come home just a little too soon, and that's when his plans went to hell. But she found him with a woman in his arms, just rolling around on the ground, laughing and teasing, hugging and squeezing, and doing it right out loud. Well, baby, he said, I can't explain this. Baby said, I love to hear you try. But you just run out of time this time. Say some prayers and say goodbye. But she filled him in on the facts of life and just what all that means. A loving man ain't no good loving man when he's caught in someone else's jeans. Yeah, baby got the blues this morning. Yeah, her loving man went astray. Baby got the blues this morning. I bet that blues don't never go away. Well, her loving man and his loving hands, they're just folded across his breast. That loving man, no more her loving man, he been laid to rest. What happens when you don't yeah, we'll leave that alone. Okay, well, there's a little bluesy tune. I was doing a gig with my band the Hot Nuts, and my drummer said, you know, we need a blues tune, so I went home and I wrote that. So that's how that happened.
I'd like to know indeed how the band name.
You want to know how the band name came about? It's not what you're thinking. We were playing in a club up in Aurelia, and they had a machine there, and it had heated cashews and hot beer nuts, and the sign said Hot Nuts. And Cliff, the bass player, and Bruce, the drummer, were leaning on either side of it, and somebody took a picture, and I thought, what a great name for a band. So I jokingly went back on stage and said, hey, we're Kid and the Hot Nuts. Well, the next night we showed up
in the t-shirt
gig. And no, the t-shirts came later. Actually, I saw one. Anyway, it was on the sign in front of it was up at the last call in Aurelia, I think, a bunch of years ago. And it was on the sign. It said, Eric, Kid and the Hot Nuts. So we went with it. Anyway, we sold a bunch of these t-shirts. Anyway, I saw one about 5 years ago, and they'd apparently bought it at the Goodwill.
Wonderful.
Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, here's another tune. This one's a little more country. I'd been at a bluegrass festival and had been jamming with a bunch of great players, and just came up with this tune. So here we go. It's been a long, long day now. I'm singing this song. Gonna write a little story all about how you done me wrong. It'll be the saddest tale of all you ever did hear, 'cause I know that a broken heart and it's true. I've got a broken heart and that's all I ever got from you. Now you twisted on love till it came out wrong. You gave me a broken heart and a hurting song. It was a starry night in June and I got a call. Well, they said they saw you slipping round by the waterfall, and he held you in his arms so tight that the rest was quite clear. You were off with your lover while I stayed here. I've got a broken heart and it's true. I've got a broken heart and that's all I ever got from you. Now you twisted our love till it came out wrong. You gave me a broken heart and a hurting song. Just a one-night fling like I hoped it would be. It was premeditated, seemed like you done a lot of planning to me. Now I know we vowed until death us do part, but our love is dead and along with it bent my heart. I've got a broken heart and it's true. I've got a broken heart and that's all I ever got from you. Now you twisted our love till it came out wrong. You gave me a broken heart and a hurting song. I've got a broken heart and a hurting song. Well, there you go.
Eric, that was awesome, man.
Well, thank you. All right. And the crowd goes wild.
They're loving it in the chat room. Lots of people making great comments in the chat room there, Eric.
Well, okay, I'm going to wander back over behind the desk, I guess.
Yeah. Thanks, man. You can show your appreciation for Eric tonight. Go to cat5.tv/Eric, and you'll be able to download those tracks in full quality as well. So, excellent. Now, you were mentioning that you are off to hockey tonight for your last game.
I am.
So you can't stick around and cite some questions and... See, I'm working on them for you. I'm working for you. Well, thanks, man. That was amazing.
Oh, Garby, I'll answer that off the air.
So, how wide is your repertoire as far as music goes? And I would say...
Well, you can check out the fingernails. I play classical guitar.
Yeah.
I play some country. I play a bunch of different instruments, but I don't know. My repertoire... seems almost everything I do sounds a little bit country, but I play lots of stuff.
Somebody was asking in the chat room why I'm not singing along with harmonies or something, and I was about to say it's country. I don't know it.
Robbie is like the Linux snob of the music world too. Like if it's country.
Is that how it goes down?
Like it's like me using that other operating system. He sort of looks down his nose at me.
Is that what I do when you say that you play country music?
Exactly.
Did I do that? Did I go...
He did.
Country?
Yeah. Does that triangle make noise? Actually, I used to play trombone. Somebody asked me what other instruments I play. I used to play trombone in high school.
Awesome.
No, I better not do my trombone impression on the mic here.
Dennis Kelly says Robbie doesn't do country, but I have to admit that as I get a little bit older... There's a newfound respect, and I think Blake Shelton has a lot to do with that, just because he's so down to earth on The Voice, and so I think he's kind of leaning me toward, well, maybe I don't hate it anymore.
Oh,
and certainly when you play, I love it. Like we've gone to a couple of your gigs, and it's a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, actually, you've subjected yourself to a whole night of me thrashing away on the guitar and singing tunes.
That was a great night too. It's also available. We sent that out last week, just so you know.
Gosh,
the video.
No, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that?
I didn't. I did not authorize that either. You'll be hearing from my people.
It was unofficially recorded. That wasn't an official broadcast.
Allegedly.
Originals tonight. These are songs that Eric has written himself. So do visit cat5.tv/Eric. ERIC.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and visit it right now.
he's curious. What is this? What is this? I put your head on a bunch of different bodies.
I should probably write a little theme song for the show.
That'd be great. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Get my tech on.
That's him trying to be hip. Hip hop. Hip to the hop, to the hippity hop. Hip hop, hippity hop. Thanks, everybody. That was a fun night.
It was a fun night.
We learned a lot. We got through a couple of contests and lots of exciting stuff coming up. We've got just an exciting second quarter for 2012.
Wow.
And this is our first show for the second quarter.
Oh my gosh, we are into the second quarter.
So really, really excited about some of the features that we're going to be doing. We've got a lot of awesome product reviews. We're going to be getting into a feature next month on saving money using technology. That's going to be starting with Hillary on the show. And very, very excited about that. We're going to be giving you practical ways to change your way of using technology in order to save yourself a lot of dough. So, cool stuff.
I don't have a lot of dough to save.
Well, hey, what if I told you
I was going to talk to you about the pay on this show.
It's pretty miserable.
I had to buy my own shirt. I mean, we don't even have a wardrobe department here.
He had to make his own shirt, let alone buying it. You just can't pick that up at Goodwill, folks.
Yes, they can.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes, you can. But the sad thing is it was only members of the band who had one.
But
so you know that it was one of the hot nuts.
We sold these in some of the finer establishments around this country. Yes. Oh, golly.
Oh, fantastic.
Are we having fun yet?
Everybody, don't forget to like and tweet and everything to do with cat5.tv/eco. A year supply of their Eco Alkalines batteries is coming your way if you win. Great seeing you. Thanks again for doing the music
at this
tonight.
age, it's great to be seen.
Yeah,
I think that's a Keith Richards line, but yeah.
It's an Eric Kidd line now. Have a great week, everybody. Nice having you here. Don't forget to get your questions in as well. We love to receive them. It's live at category5.tv. Last game of the year is tonight. What are you up to the rest of the time? How often do you play?
Well,
does this change your week as far as things go?
I play every Sunday and I play every Tuesday, and it's all screeched to a darned halt. And I'm not actually playing the outdoor ball hockey or anything this summer. I don't think.
The phone's going to be ringing off the hook now for gigs. So
that had better be it. Yes. We'll be down in Dallas. No, actually, find me some gigs down in Dallas.
So you own an establishment in or around the Barrie area? Huh. Let's talk. Hey. Let's talk. Eric does gigs.
Who's that short, fat guy with the guitar? Sure.
Rev D. Jenk thinks Nashville's actually on the phone right now, trying to get through.
Nashville,
so we better get off the air because they're trying to get a hold of you.
Well, we have that 2545 Cat 5. No, is it?
Yeah, that's right. 2545 Cat 5 TV.
Yeah.
Rings here at the studio. It's a Texas number. If you live in Texas, it's a local call.
It's long distance for me to call it.
From here, sitting at my desk.
It's long distance for me to call it from here.
Just don't.
I tried to call it earlier today.
Oh yeah.
No, that'll be easier. It'll go to the phone downstairs. It'll be great.
Yeah. The one that I muted because we're about to go on the air.
Oh, okay.
I gotcha.
Well,
yeah, turned off the ringer, folks. Sorry, I got voicemail.
I didn't leave you a message.
All right.
Great
to see you. Great to see you. Get your questions in. Send us your postcard. We love to receive them. Category 5 Technology TV is at Postal Box 29009, Barrie, Ontario, Canada, L4N7W7. We would love to get those this week. You have a fantastic week, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday night.
Keep those cards and letters coming in.
Keep them coming. See yas.